Hello and a very good morning, Dr. Swati. My name is Nabeel Said Noman, holding student ID 250100497. And today I'll be doing the presentation for Assessment 1 for Managerial Leadership Personality, which is a reflective video presentation for the program of Master of Business Administration. And the subject is MGT 5333 Foreign Foresight, Leadership and Management. Starting the presentation by the table of content, which contains the things that I'll be talking about in this presentation, which is a professional background, Big Five personality test results, understanding how personality traits are used, also reflection of trait 1 on management and reflection of trait 2 on leadership, as well as for the conclusion and references. So for starting with a professional background, I'm actually a chemical engineer, graduated from UCSI University in 2022, and currently working as a quality supervisor in a packaging manufacturing company for HSA Group based in Yemen, managing and leading 12 subordinates, as well as managing and leading ERP project for enterprise resource planning, which is SAP, and also responsible for the product's quality and customer complaints, and my working experience is 2 years. So starting the presentation of by understanding the personality traits using Big Five personality test, as the picture shows below, the highest percentage that I've got, which is I scored, which is consciousness, as well as for the lowest, which is the extroversion, and for emotional stability, agreeableness, and intellect or imaginations, it fall in between of those two personalities. So the two personality traits that I've chosen for this presentation, extroversion and consciousness. So understanding of extroversion traits on leadership as well as for the management. So for the leadership, it energizes the followers by presence and passion, and also communicate inspiration and alignment well, promotes a quick decision making in terms for decision making, as well as it builds a strong relationship with subordinates in the working place. So in conclusion, extroverted leaders often excel at inspiring their team or subordinates, as well as driving the engagement among the team, and also navigating a high interaction environment for the subordinates and make them effective in a dynamic and collaborative setting. So, and also for the extroversion trait for the management, it navigate change effectively, communicate goals clearly, build external relationships, and strengthen the workplace culture. So as we can see from this trait for the extroversion in management, so managers who exhibit extroversion, they are actually high in and tend to foster open team dynamics and effectively handle conflict issues and energize their subordinates. This actually personality traits also enhance visibility and influence within the organization, making it valuable for the rules for the manager who want to play roles in collaboration and stakeholder actually interactions. So understanding for moving to the next slide, which is understanding the consciousness trait for leadership and management. So for the leadership, actually leaders who exhibit consciousness have they act as a role model for the integrity and reliability. Also, they meet the deadlines consistently and support team stability. They set high standards and inspire preci- uh, precision across the organization, and also align their structured thinking with the long-term goals. So as we can see, those leaders who exhibit consciousness, they actually lead with a strong sense of responsibility, and also they have the setting like a high standard for themselves as well as for the group they are working with. And also these personality traits, it supports the leader for having an ethical decision making and strategic planning, as well as their performance will be constant. So for the management side, as we can see from the slides, managers who have this consciousness trait, they can manage risks and ensure compliance, also build trust and earns followership through constant behavior, ensure quality and accuracy in their reports and processes, and also creating a dependable and responsible work environment. So as a conclusion from managers who have like consciousness personality, they actually they are like more detailed oriented, and actually they are more disciplined, and they communicate to a high performance standards, as well as their focus on planning and accountability, consistency, and also helps drive operational efficiency on long-term success. So moving on to the next slide, which is the reflection of management on for the extroversion, because I chose it as a weakness for me. So extroversion personality or managers, they have like they favor like a direct or one-to-one communication over group settings. So they like one-to-one interaction instead of group settings. And also they're not seeking for the spotlight. They don't want to be the kind of managers who just seeking for the spotlight, but they often manage effectively through a quiet, diligent, and consistency. And also they have a they also hesitate in terms of decision making, as they like to take more like analytical and reflective approach, and they have kind of weak networking and stakeholder engagement, as they have like their culture is like very reserved. So how this low extroversion actually reflect on my career. So it actually due to my reserved nature, it's likely enhance my accuracy and consistency, and also it also lower my visibility, but in other hand it higher the execution. And also the preference for high thoughtful communication by one-to-one interaction instead of the group settings. And also it helps me have a calm management in a high stress situation. So I'll be reserved like calm and passion in, and when it comes to a very high stress situations. And also like how to mitigate the weakness in lower extroversion, we can use written communication to maintain visibility, prepare talking points to boost confidence, focus on deep meaningful interactions, and also partner with extroverted colleagues who can help me out, um, getting out of this comfort place, or like I mean less visibility, and also practice assertiveness in low stakes situation. So moving to the other personality trait, which is the consciousness, which is how is it reflected in terms of leadership. So it actually helps them have a strong orientation and reliability, and also those leaders will have a structured and organized leadership style, and also they have a high standards and accountability. Also it helps those leaders enhance their team productivity and organizational performance, as they're going to be like having a very high consciousness, and also having an ethical responsible decision making. So examples on how consciousness reflect on my career. So as it was shown by the big five personality traits, I scored the highest in consciousness. So how did it help me in this term? It helped me leading the ERP project with a clear planning by minimizing the risk as in terms of maximizing the efficiency. Also, it helps me to communicate or having a commitment to continuous improvements for the quality products in my working department, and also ensuring or also like earning the trust of my team and the stakeholders. Why? Because due to the transparency and responsibility decisions that I can make. And the last but not least, which is the strong sense of duty that ensure constant enforcement of quality standard, and also like know how to handle the customer complaints. So this gives me like an extra edge in that term. Why high consciousness considered good for future leaders? It gives like a high consciousness is a superpower in a complex, challenging world. Also, leaders with this personality balance profit with purpose, and also it drives sustainable success, resilience, and human-centered growth. So, in conclusion, as we can conclude, low extroversion can be a leadership weakness, but it's not a barrier. So, and also like success does not only that, I mean, success depends on self-awareness, adaptability, complementing strength, and introverts can manage time effectively with a in a very high stress situations. And leaders with a high consciousness serves as role model by being inspiring. Adaptability is a key to avoid rigid environment for high consciousness leaders. And the last page will be for the references. Thank you.